I am talking to you guys from the gym today because this message has been on my spirit my whole workout. I was like, I can't wait to finish this so I can share this. But I really feel that someone needs to hear this. So as you're hopping on, let me know where you're tuning in from. And if you're brand new, welcome. My name is Rachel. I'm a women's business and transformational coach, and I'm excited that you're here. But anyways, we are talking about not even talking about, I just really want to ask you this. Okay. What if, truthfully, be honest with me, what if you actually 100% looked at 2022 as your one shot to create everything that you've been called to? Okay. I know a lot of pressure comes with that question because then it's like we have no excuse for dragging our feet and waiting years to get things done. But the truth is the present moment is a gift, okay? It's meant to be opened and received. And there's too many of us that we take time for granted and we end up wasting a lot of it. We waste time for years. We waste moments. We literally will grab our phone and scroll and watch all these other people have success. And some of you've been watching me and other people for at least 2 or 3 years. Okay. And you've seen us have success or progress, and you're sitting in the same position you were a couple of years ago. Okay. And that's not to call you out, but it's to be honest. I mean, there's definitely things where I know I've watched people succeed on certain things and I didn't act on it. Okay. And we all struggle with things like that, but that's because we're not realizing how much power this current moment has. And we're not actually taking advantage of the beginning of the year. We're not actually looking at this year as, hey, what if I actually looked at this year as my one shot? Okay. Honestly, we're not promised 5 more years. We're not promised 10 more years. We're not promised 20 more years. We're not even promised tomorrow. Okay. So I want you to really think about that. Right now, what if you truthfully believe that to your core? If this was your one shot to create what God's called you to, what would you be doing differently? Who would you be? All right. And are you actually being that person right now? Are you actually doing those things that you have been called to? Because this was, I even had a conversation with my boyfriend yesterday that was kind of there were certain things where in my life, I wasn't doing certain things because I didn't feel like I was at the level to do them. And that was really just an excuse. Okay. Because if we actually looked at what we've been called to do, all right, you can do those things right now. All right. And it doesn't matter how much money you currently have. It doesn't matter how big your following is. If you've been called to impact people, if you've been called to build a business, all right, you have what it takes right now. And you have specific gifts, experiences that God has equipped you with to be able to serve the people that were born to work with you. Okay. So I just want to call some excuses out right now. Okay. You're not too old. You're not too young. Right now is the time to truthfully take advantage of this year. And if you're just hopping on, I really want you to just start thinking about this. Okay. What would be done differently in your life, in your business, in your relationships, how you treated people, what you were posting? Because this is another thing too. I really asked myself this question last year, and that's when a lot of my business stuff shifted a lot, because I realized if this was my one shot to actually create what I personally know I've been called to, okay, there's got to be a lot of changes in what I'm focusing on. Because this is another thing. If you're a called woman, I want you to just think of this and just think of this in general. And you don't even have to be a woman, but if you're a Christian, okay, I want you to think about this, is that if you're a Christian and you've been called to further the kingdom, all right, and I know some people might feel convicted on this because I know I have in the past, but here's the reality is pastors aren't they're not the only people that are called to further the kingdom. And that's where a lot of people fall short, is that because you're not a pastor, because you're not necessarily in a ministry, you think that it's not your job to further the kingdom, but that's wrong. Okay, as a Christian, you're called to further the kingdom. Okay, and if you actually believe that this year was your one shot to do that, how would you be operating differently? Okay, because if you have a business, you'd probably be restructuring your business to focus on different things that you currently are. Because something that I heard a couple weeks ago that has just been running through my mind a lot is that one soul, okay, you want to write this down because this is just mind blowing, okay? One soul, like one soul, is worth more money to God, okay, than all the money in the world. Think about that. Okay, because some of you that are going to be watching this, you haven't built out the business you know you're called to. You haven't been focusing on the things you're called to because you think that it's not a profitable niche. Okay, you think that no one's going to pay for it. All right, but just think about that. All right, even if 2 people were tuning in on your live stream and they got saved or they restored their relationship with God and they had a spirit shift, they like their soul is worth more than all the money in the world. Okay, and I just think someone needs to hear that today. Is like that thing God is like placed in you to create, that thing that like you know you're called to talk on, but you keep stopping yourself because you think it's not going to be profitable. You think that the world doesn't want to hear it. Okay, that very thing is yours to create. That very thing is yours to speak on. That very thing is yours to own and walk in. And that very thing is going to require you to partner with God. Okay. And I just really feel like someone needs to hear this. Is like this year, like I want you to approach today as like, this is your shot. Okay, this is your shot to be heard. This is your shot to speak up. This is your shot to be bold. This is your shot to truthfully walk in that authority God has already given you. Okay, and it's your shot to end all those stories and excuses as to why this moment is not good enough. Because I promise you, there's people in your life right now that their soul, they really need what you have to say. Okay, and that very day that you show up on your live stream, that might be the very message they've been praying to receive. Okay, so think about that. All right, this is a brand new year, brand new start. And if you really treated it as this is my one shot to create everything I've been called to do, okay, you're going to be showing up differently. You're going to stop holding yourself back and you're going to stop playing, like you're going to stop making decisions from these stories in your mind that are irrelevant to the self-image that God has given you. Okay, because the thing is, like, if you truthfully believed in what God has already said, then all those things that you're stopping yourself with, you wouldn't be doing anymore. Okay, so what do you want to create in 2022? Or better yet, what have you been called to create in 2022? And what needs to be done in order to do that? Okay, because a lot of people are praying for you and they're waiting for you to show up, but they can't recognize you if you're hiding and if you're being someone that you're not. Okay, so I love all of you. I hope this helps someone today, but I really felt called to share this. And if you just know that you're called for more and you're done hiding and you're done just being passive and pretending that you don't know what to do and you're just done like leaving your success to chance, I want you to send me a DM, okay? Because you're called for more. And this year literally is your year of favor, blessing, and increase. Okay, but it all comes down to, are you willing to own it, walk in it, and truthfully be that powerful woman God has called you to be? Okay, so I love you guys, and we will chat soon.